What's going on, everybody? Welcome into the first ever edition of the End to End Corner Store. A little 5-minute video segment every week, once a week, where we unpackage a little NBA nugget that didn't make the cut of the podcast or just didn't fit in anywhere, and we take a set of stats or a line of history or something and break it down as quickly as we possibly can, as in depth as we possibly can. So, without further ado, we are going to break down the last 18 games, the Bucks winning streak here, and show the weight of it against the league and who they're playing and what it actually means. So, the first ever edition of the End-to-End Corner Store starts now. The Milwaukee Bucks, 18-game winning streak. Impressive? Yes. Anytime somebody can rip off 18 wins in a row, it's very impressive. The people that they're beating, the teams that they're beating, not as impressive. If you take a look at their records here really quick, the collection is not very good. What we see, though, is a lot of the bottom-dwelling teams, and the parity just isn't what we thought it was going to be from top to bottom. That's okay, though, because they're beating these teams, as of yesterday, with an average of around 15 points per game. So they're whomping on these teams, and that's what you would expect from a team like the Bucks through the regular season while playing their superstar minutes, and he's not load managing, he's not doing anything, he's playing every single game full throttle. So 15 points a game, that's really good. The only thing, though, only 3 out of the 14 teams are in the top 10 in defensive rating. Also, to go along with that, 10 out of the 14 have a negative net rating. So they are playing 75% of their games are against terrible teams. Now, they've played Atlanta twice, they've played Chicago twice, and Chicago is one of those kind of, you really don't know what you're getting teams, especially after their win last night. Not to mention the amazing Cleveland Cavaliers. Get rid of Kevin Love now. So it's very impressive, and it's needed too. Like, their dominance in the East brings on the later rivalries of the 76ers and the Boston Celtics when we get later into the season. Those games are going to mean it's going to give them a little oomph, because you're going against that top team in the East, and the Celtics and 76ers and Heat are going to go, well, what about us? Like, just because we haven't ripped off 18 in a row against really bad teams doesn't mean that we don't deserve a chance to be called that as well. So I think it ramps up the excitement for that and the matchups in the East. Other than that, again, the 15 points a game per win is very impressive. They're one of the most efficient teams in the NBA, defensively and offensively. So ultimately, I don't think you can take much from this, except that Milwaukee has the most dominant player in the league in Giannis, and that dominant player is doing what they need him to do against subpar competition. They are spreading that subpar competition very thin and kind of forcing their will upon teams, and it will continue to work until they get into that upper echelon, and then we will really see what this Milwaukee Bucks team is made of. I'm your host, Joe Golden. Thanks for joining me on the End-to-End Corner Store.